Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to try to do a lab. Right, so today we're going to work on what's called the acid-base titration lab. Now, if you remember what an acid-base titration is, okay, we use it to find the value or the molarity or the concentration of an unknown acid or base. And this is the setup that we use. Okay, so these are each a burette. On this side, this is going to be our acid side, and we're going to use 0.10 molar hydrochloric acid. This is our standard solution, and it's also called the titrant. On this side, in this burette, we're going to have some NaOH. So this is some sodium hydroxide. Right? We don't know the concentration of the sodium hydroxide, and we want to figure it out. So we're going to do a titration. Okay? Now, please follow along in the lab. Right, so the very first thing we have to do is we have to load these burettes with the amount of acid and base. Okay? And they go from 0 to 50. Both of them go from 0 to 50. So the first thing we do is we load them up. Right? Now there's already some acid in this one and some base here, so it's from here and here. So to load these, we carefully add the acid, and we're going to go above the 0 line. Okay, we go above the 0 line to 0 it. And then we put this back underneath. Okay, now, this is the valve, and if you turn it just a little bit, it will start to drip. And we're going to bring this down to the 0 mark. Now, when you look later, I'm going to bring it in closer, there's a little curvy thingy. Okay, so since this is glass, it rides up the edges, and that curvy thingy is called a meniscus. So you read to the bottom of the meniscus. So we're going to bring this down to exactly 0, 0. Sometimes you need to use a little bit of white paper to see better. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to bring it to the 0 mark. Okay, so now the acid is 0. So we're going to start with 0 on this side. Now we do the same thing to the base. Now the base is already here, so we have to bring it up to the 0 mark. We go above the 0, and we put this back down here, and we slowly bring it down so the bottom of the meniscus is at 0. And that's perfect. Okay. So now the burettes are ready to go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually do the titration. Okay, and we're going to follow right along with the lab. Now I'm going to bring you up closer. Okay, so you can see what's happening here, and then you can see what's happening up here, and you get some readings. Okay, so hold on, don't want you to get dizzy. Wah, 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 wah. All right, here we are. Okay, and I want to zoom out a little bit here. All right. So here we are. Okay, now, this side over here is our acid. This side's our base. I actually have them labeled so you can see them. You can't see that one very well. This is the NaOH. Okay, and this is phenolphthalein. It's our indicator that we're going to use today. All right, now, so I want to show you up top, if I can, what this looks like. All right, so now, all right, we are at, okay, and it's hard to see, but we are at the bottom of the meniscus. We are zeroed. Okay, so we're zeroed there. Actually, it looks a little bit high. I think we're off a little bit, so I might have to zero that a little bit better. All right, and then on this side, this is our base, and this one's hard to see. All right, I'm going to have to do the readings for you, but it's there. Okay. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. And that's better. Okay, so we're just going to follow the instructions. So we've done number 1, we've done number 2. All right, now in the data table, under trial 1, our initial readings are 0 for HCl and 50.0 for the HCl and the NaOH. So we're starting, no, I lied. We're starting at 0. Okay, because it starts at 0 and it goes to 50. Right, so our starting initial reading is 0. Now it tells us that we need 10 milliliters of acid. So what we do is we come over here. And we're going to slowly add the acid until we get down to 10 milliliters. Okay, so you can control the speed. Okay, depending how far you turn it, you can control the speed. So it can go all the way really fast, and then you can slow it down to drip by drip by drip if you want. So you have a lot of control. So you can drip it, okay, or you can speed it right up. So we need exactly 10 milliliters. Okay, so there. Okay, that's exactly 10 milliliters. So our final reading for the hydrochloric is 10.0 milliliters. And you can put that into your chart. Now, we're going to put 3 drops of indicator in, PHTH. Now this should be clear if we look at table M, because this is an acid, and it is. Now what we do is we come over here, and we're going to slowly add base until this turns to a really light color pink. All right, it's got to be really light. Let's see how we can do. All right, now as we do it, okay, we're going to turn the space on, but you need to swirl. All right. So we keep swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling, and I'm going to go a little bit faster. Okay. So right now, the base is neutralizing that 10 milliliters of acid. I'm going to start to slow this down. Woo! Okay, so now I'm doing drip by drip here. It kind of gets frustrating because it starts to go away, or it comes and you see the little pink there a little bit. All right, but then it gotta be really slow. So it's starting to say, hopefully you can start to see the pink there. All right, but it goes away. All right, so we really want to go really slow here. Ooh, we're just about there. Now, see how long it stayed pink? That means we're right there. So I'm going to take a reading right here, just in case one more drop is too much. So if I read this right now, it's exactly 19.27 right now. 19.27. Remember that. But we're going to add another drop to see what happens. Right, and that's almost a little bit too far. All right, so that's why I took that last reading. All right, that's almost a little bit too dark. All right, so now we're at 19.31. So let's use that number. So under trial 1, under final reading, we'll use 19.31. Then to get our volume used, you subtract. Now we started at 0, so 10 minus 0 is 10.0 milliliters. 19.31 minus 0 is 19.31 milliliters. Okay. So I know it's kind of messy, but you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So that was trial 1. Okay. Now trial 2, we don't have to refill the HCl and the NaOH. We can start where we ended. Okay. So we ended at 10.0 milliliters for the acid, and we ended at 19.31 milliliters for the base. So that's where we can start for our second trial. Okay. So it should look something like that. Right, now, we're going to do the whole thing over again. Right, now, we need 10 milliliters of acid again, so we're going to use the exact same amount of acid. Okay, so I'm going to add our acid. So I'm at 10, so that means I need to go to 20. Yeah, I'm going to show you it going down here, so hopefully you can kind of see here. Down, 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 down. You can see that meniscus really well here. And I'm going to put you down so I can stop it. So we're going to stop at 20. Okay, there's our 20 milliliters. We need 3 drops of phenolphthalein. And now we're going to add our base. Now, we added 19.31 milliliters last time. Okay. We have the same exact amount of acid over here on this side. So how much should we need of this base over here? Well, it should be about the same thing. So if we use 19.31 the first time, we're going to use about 19.31 the second time. So we can go really fast until we get to, well, what's double of 19? That's 38. So we can come down to 38 really, really fast. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And then we'll slow it down. Okay. Okay, so we just passed 30. And you can see what happens if I don't stir it. And 35, 36, that's 37, and now I'm going to slow it down. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Ooh, okay. going to be pretty close. So I'm going to take a reading. It's 30. 38 point, it's about 38.80. Let's add another one just to see. And that's a little bit far. So let's use 38.80 for my NaOH and 20.0 for my HCl. Okay. So it should look something like this. Right, so this again is going to be 10.0 milliliters, and this is going to be 19.51 milliliters. Okay, so that's how much we use to neutralize that. We did pretty good. They're pretty close. All right. Now we have to do it again, but before we can do it again, we're going to need to fill the burette of NaOH back up, right? Because we're not going to have enough at the bottom. All right, so we're way down here towards 39. We'll run out. So I'm going to quickly refill this up to 0. And we're zeroed again. And now we're ready to do trial number 3. So our start, or our initial reading, is where we ended for the acid. So for the acid we're at 20.0, but for the NaOH we're back at 0. And we're going to do the same exact thing a third time. Right, so I need 10 milliliters again. So this time I'm going to go down to 30. Okay, and you can see it going down there. Woo. And there's my 30 milliliters. And I'm going to add 3 drops of my phenolphthalein. And then we're going to come back here and do our titration. Now again, we know we need just a little bit more than 19, so we can go really fast for a while. So if I don't stir it, you can actually see it there. As soon as I start twirling, you can see that it goes away. So we have our neutralization reaction going on in there. $17, $18, we better slow down. Right, so if we stir it, we're in good shape here. It lasts longer and longer and longer the closer you get. Woo! Whoa, look at that. That has a faint pink. Oh! Okay, that's really close. I'm going to take a reading for us just to see. And we're at 19.40 right now. We're at 19.40. I'm going to add one more drop just to see. And see, that's too far. But that's okay. That's why we do this. So I took that. It's not bad, but that's why I took that last reading. Okay, so our third trial ends at 19.40. So now if we look at our data table here we go. All right, so for this trial, Okay, we started at 20, we went to 30 for our HCl, and that was 10. We started at 0, went to 19.40, and we used 19.40. So now we're going to start. Oh, I can't do it this way. We're going to start at 30.0, and we're going to start at 19. We use that extra drop, so we're at 19.42. Okay. All right, and we're going to do our fourth trial. All right, so here we go. We're going to add our 10 milliliters of acid. So I got to go down to 40. Okay, so there's our 10, exactly 10 milliliters. We're going to put our phenolphthalein in. Okay. Now we're at 19, a little over 19, so we can go all the way to 38 really quick. And we're at 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and we better slow down. Let's just swirl just to see where we're at. Oh yeah, it's all gone. Right, and we're gonna add some more here. That's 38 right there. Right, so let's go drip by drip. You can tell it's taking longer, so we're really close again. I'm going to take a reading there just for fun. And that's, oh, I'd say it's 39.8. I'd say, let's add one more drop. Which is too far. So 39.08. So we do that subtraction. We got 19.66 for HCl. We started at 30, went to 40, and we have 10. Okay, so now hold on for a second. Okay, so here's our data. This is how much we used in each one. This is the column that we're going to use right here, right? The volume used. And we're going to use this MAVA-ICA equals MBVB-ICB for each trial. Okay, you're going to do it for each trial. And then, once you've done each trial, you're going to calculate the average. So now, for trial 1, we're going to use MAVA-ICA equals MBVB-ICB. Okay, so I'm going to help you with the first one. The molarity of the acid I gave you as 0.10 molar. The volume of the acid is from trial 1. It's 10.0 milliliters. Our ionization constant for HCl, well, it only produces 1. It's monoprotic, so it's a 1. The molarity of the base is what we're trying to find. Our volume of base is what we used here. It's 19.31 milliliters. And then our ionization constant of NaOH, well, this is monohydroxy, so it is 1. Okay. So then we just do this math, and whatever we get for X is what's going to go here. Now, you're going to do the same thing for trial 2, except you're going to use the trial 2 volume used. And then the same thing for trial 3, and the same thing for trial 4. Okay. Now, once you have those done, you got some questions down here to do. Okay. All right, so that's the lab. I know it wasn't the greatest, all right, but hopefully you get the idea of what a titration is. Okay, thank you. Have a good one.